guys, how you doing this week? Welcome back. So this week in our StarStock Journey, I think we're up to week 10, I think it is, and we're going to find some ways to find some really good deals on StarStock this week. I've actually been doing some really good searching for you guys. And remember, we're always buying under the radar. We don't have to worry about injuries. We don't have to worry about trades, anything off season. We're just looking for undervalued players at a low risk, and we're buying on a budget. So let's take a look at things that we found this week. And we found a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to go over, and we'll be right back. And go spin this camera around, and we'll be right back. Thanks for joining me this week, guys. Hey, guys, welcome back. Thanks for coming along in the journey with me. And so we did a lot this week, and I found some really good deals. And I may have to stop the video a couple times, check some notes. Last week, the video, there was a couple things that I wanted to go over, and I think we missed a couple comparisons that I wanted to do on CompC and on eBay. So we'll see if we can make sure that I cover everything today that I say that we're going to cover. And boy, I would tell you that this week has been, there's a couple mistakes I actually made this week. And geez, if you watched any of my other videos where I've used the phone for buying or selling or actually trying to sell a card, I actually had a couple mistakes this week, and I'll show you guys. We'll go over those. But I found a guy that is way undervalued that hit quite a few home runs last year, compared to other players that, you know, hey, he hasn't gotten hurt and other players have gotten hurt. So, and their values of their cards are quite high right now, and there's a lot of hype on them. And I think that this team that this player's on has done some great moves in the offseason, and I think they'll be in the playoffs at the end of the year. So it could be kind of like a pickup now, and if the card doesn't raise its value, because I haven't seen much movement on it, I do think that it will go up if the team does good. Of course, injuries could be something that hurts you, and there should be some hype coming up here as the start of the season. And usually when the season gets started, that first couple of weeks, player gets in there and starts cracking some home runs. There's usually a lot of hype there, and people go run back and chase his card. So I'm not buying right now because I've actually put quite a bit of money out in other places, and I'll show you where that money went. But I just wanted to show you how to find some deals on StarStock, and that's kind of the this week where I'm kind of nailing down some areas where I've been studying, and I want to share that with you guys. So hey, I'm frugal about this. I've never really put a lot of money in this to start. It was $150 to put in to start. I took $200 back home already. I sent roughly, let's check my collection. The baseball cards is where I put, and let me put this on pause. I had this all set up, and somehow I got signed out. There's another one here. Let me see if that's signed in still. And I should be. Yeah, and I had it set up before. So, okay. Baseball. I sent all my baseball cards in. What I sent in was Topps Chrome, everything 2018, 19, and 2020, and some of the flagship too. So there was about 240 cards originally. So I've sold some. With the start of baseball season, things have actually started to move. And actually, the value on this wasn't that high before. So the value on those cards went quite up. Just got a couple of football cards in there, and some basketball cards. So I'm actually looking at some football right now too, and I got some heads up on football, and I'm going to go over to eBay and show you some things on eBay. So there are so many things to cover, you guys, and I want to show you some of the new features on the marketplace, and I think that's a good place to start. This video could go long, guys, just to warn you, but I like to get the information that I'm finding out and to share it with you guys. So just a heads up, if anybody does want to get in, and anybody that's a friend of mine that watches my channel, Costa Rica Card Collector, you can sign up with that, and if you put in $10, they'll match the $10. They'll give you $10 for free, and they'll even send it to me. $10, so you can get yourself free $10 that way. I'm not affiliated with StarStock, guys. You can use anybody's link to get your free $10. But there are some new features here. Of course, we always know that there's a featured cards there for us. And there's this emerging 30, actually emerging 20, the hot deals, deals under, the emerging 30 for basketball. Now, I've seen a trend. There was one, can't remember if there was ever one up for basketball, but I'm going to go to mostly traded today. And we can see basketball seems pretty hot, okay? That's trades. Latest sales. Now, in the morning when I was over here, and when I wanted to come, I actually was trying to I took my wife to work earlier today, so I wanted to show you the sales. Let's see if it shows up over here. It was all basketball going across the board. There's actually some good deals out there right now to buy. I'm actually looking at this card as being a very good price right now for a StarStock A for his first Bowman Chrome for $1.80. That just shows up right now. And this is a good way to find deals. You can go and look at the latest sales and see what other people are buying. And you can see the prices of some of these cards. So somebody's taking a shot on this guy for 16 cents. I mean, if he just makes a couple three-pointers, that card should go up at 16 cents. I mean, I'm nickel and diming my way up, guys. I'm not dropping $2,000 on a card or $500 on a card or anything like that. If I make some money, I'll use that profit to buy stuff and add to the collection. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm looking to add cards to my collection, and we're bringing cards home. And I got the confirmation of 15 of my cards coming home. I bring some StarStock Bs coming home, so I want to show everybody what the quality of those cards look like. So let's see if we can make some money with those and maybe put them on another website. Of course, we all know that the StarStock Bs are a little bit undervalued on here, and I think that the prices should start to raise pretty soon. I've noticed some good things with new arrivals, okay, and things that they've been putting into the system. They've been flagging things a lot of season Bs. So if you're sending cards in, guys, there's another thing I want to warn you about. They're really backed up right now. It could be 6 weeks if you're sending things in for your cards to get in there. So don't be sending stuff that you want to sell right away. Think like chess. Think a little bit ahead of time. Like, okay, if I got some baseball cards right now that I'm sending, they might not be ready to sell until the middle of the, till 2 months into the season. So, or 6 weeks into the season. So injuries could take place there. So plan your strategy. Like what I did when I first sent in December, I sent all my baseball, and then I was buying basketball when I got in. I was trying to buy basketball under the radar. I did get stuck with some cards, so I have to wait till playoffs and hope to get rid of some, or wait till next year when the hype starts to build up. But I did buy young players. Always buy young players, guys, because the hype still stays around those young players. When they get older, that hype kind of wears off. So, and people have already got their cards. So you could see a lot of A's too are coming in on some of these new optics. So a lot of cards coming in here with some A's. So you could pretty much feel confident when you go and buy an A. Now that's a pretty sexy looking card and that's going for $1 or $2 depending on the offer. We just had one sale. Card just got in. Somebody was excited to make a sale, and they sold it. Came from that premium box. It's 1 out of 249. So I don't know who this guy is, but that's a nice card for $2. So am I buying cards like that? Not really. I got to do my research. I'm not going and jumping on that guy and buying that guy. But if I do see a card down here that's way undervalued, I will go and take a look. So let me show you these great features and why I think this is very important for us, and the index and what the index is going to show us. And you could see a graph there. And I don't need to look at much about the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I like to crunch numbers. I used to do analysis for a company, and you learn a lot from numbers. I've won a lot of fantasy football and fantasy baseball just by looking at numbers. I'm here in Costa Rica, and that's one of the things why StarStock's very valuable to me. And also, just looking at numbers has actually helped me. I don't have much access to television and the games on TV, so looking at the box scores and stats and things like that has helped me win some fantasy football and fantasy baseball. So these numbers tell you a lot when you see a lot of green, and they tell you a lot when you see a lot of red. And when you see the before, or when it starts, and you see where it's at right now, you guys can do that when you see something down here that's down 35%, when you see something that's down at 20%, or if you see something that stayed the same, went up a little bit, went back down a little bit, and it's a great player, and there's not a lot of sales or a lot of interest. And that's how I found one of the players that we're going to go over this week. And I think he's got a lot of potential. I do have a couple of his cards on here on the site already, so I'm not really worried about chasing any right now, but I do wish I had some more of his card. Give me a second. Sometimes I lose my voice there, guys. And so what kind of information could we find from this? And I want to show you we're not looking too much at basketball right now. Basketball is not really a good thing to look at unless you're targeting a player that's really low right now, because there's some players that are just bottomed off right now. If you want to pick up some players, and next year they should rebound, but I would think it'd be a hold. I don't think you'd be picking up basketball and trying to make money unless the guy goes off, injury, things like that. There's always things under the radar. But look at the graph. We started at about 1,000 in value, and the total value is at 1,500. It peaked at around 2,500, it looks like. So we've fallen off to 1,574 this week, and we dropped quite a bit in the last week or so. That tells you a lot about basketball and what's going on right now. This is around the beginning of the season or end of the season, or right, hang on. Yep, right about the beginning of the season. That's about right. December, right in December. You can see that that's where all that interest was, right at the last couple of weeks of December and right at the first couple of weeks of January, and it started to fall off, and it dropped right after that. That was right around the time when everybody was chasing vintage. So you can see how the graphs are kind of helpful. Baseball's graph. And I think the same thing's going to happen to baseball. And sorry about my crude way I do our production here for us, but one of these days I'll get a little bit better at this. But let's go check out the index. Now, we're steady, okay? And you can see the index started around 1,000, the same as the basketball. So it hasn't taken its jump yet. Season hasn't started, but you can see there's not as much interest in baseball as you would see that there was in basketball. So we don't see that fluctuation yet. So we're going to keep an eye on this graph. It's only 3 weeks old. So there's a lot of information I learned, though, from this. And it's kind of neat because it's kind of just these few boxes that started to get checked off. So you can actually see the plus and minuses on some of the big players. Soto, Tatis, Cunha, and you see Vladimir Guerrero. He's way up, I think. It's a lot of hype on him. From the last 3 weeks, I haven't really paid attention to him, what he's been doing in spring training, but there's tons of hype. Lewis Roberts still holding steady. Bo Bichette's actually tickered off a tiny bit. He was at 100, went up, and went down. He's down 25%. And there's actually, I'm not going to use him as an example this week, but there's actually some cards under the radar right now that you can actually go and find a PSA 9. I think there's a couple PSA 9 tops flagships around $29 right now. It's $20 to grade and take you, I don't know, at that price a year to get the card back. So if anybody likes Bo Bichette and doesn't want to get a 10 and collects him, I think there's a good value at a PSA 9 out there right now. And there's actually some good deals on eBay. So I think that at $29, you can actually put a bid in at around $25 right now and probably pull off a PSA 9 Bo Bichette. There's actually some other deals out there too, but I picked up a couple of his Topps Chrome, and I have them coming over. Topps Chrome or Topps Base? I picked them up off eBay, and I got them coming over to get those sold. But so I went down here and I looked at this guy down here, and I look at prices. So I'm frugal. We got a couple guys down there. Keston Hiura, just by the way, when we were talking last week about Keston Hiura, I couldn't get his card. It went from $1. I put that bid in at $1, and his card's already up to about $4 or $5 this week. And if we get time to go over and check him out, his card just shot right up. So I was putting a bid on him, but at some point somebody outbid me. The sale started to go higher that day, and I just let it go. I could have jumped on at like $1.50, and the card's at $4 right now. So I missed out on that one, but I grabbed another one. The Jeff McNeils that I was buying, those all sold, guys. And I sold them all for about double. But I'm looking at this guy right here. When we're talking in the beginning of the video, and sorry about the length of this video, guys. Pete Alonso here, but I just want you guys to get a little bit of my mindset and how I do this. So $58. These two guys, Keston's a great player, okay? But he's not in that market where in Milwaukee he's going to hit a few home runs and everybody's going to be buying his cars in Milwaukee. The Mets made a lot of moves in the offseason, and they got Lindor. This guy hit 50 home runs. He was a little bit off last year, but his last 3-4 weeks of the played 60 games last year. He started cold. You either started hot or you started cold last year. He started cold, but he put some swing in there at the end. And this guy's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of extra people added in around him. So Mets are going to go far. They got pitching. They've got an owner that spent a lot of money in the offseason. So let's look for them to make the playoffs or be really strong. He could get injured, guys. This could be a bad investment. I'm not buying him, but his cards right now are cheap. I'm going to go over and show you what I found. We're going to do some eBay comparisons and some comparisons here that we found on the site. So let me get over here and find out where we're at. And I have that one thing mashed out, but we're going to go over here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put you guys on pause, and I'm going to be right back. Hang on 1 second with me. Okay, guys, here's what we got. And when I was in here this morning, I was looking at some things. Now we're going to go over and we're going to check comparisons on price with Vladimir Guerrero and a couple other players to the price of the card of this fella here, Pete Alonso. And what did I find? Sorry about that, guys. We got base card, Series 2, Topps Chrome, 116. PSA 9, 35. Oops. Let me click on that little PSA 9, 25 for the base. Now, I know a lot of people like base. It's a great investment. It's the paper card. The Chrome version is the better card. That's a great deal at it's not at $35 too. I wanted to show you guys something. It's sold just recently at $25 and there's offers at $24. I wanted to show you. I don't know. I wouldn't buy the 10, I might buy the 9. Now, you can see the prices of the 9, and we'll take the prices of the 10 off, but you can see the prices of the 9 have been up and down the last couple of weeks. So, and even at 25 right now, I think that that's a good deal. Now, if you look, look what you could have got that card for. Look at the sales. There was some $10 and $15 sales back in January. And that's really when I was sending the cards in December is when I should have been in there buying more cards, okay? This is the card that I'm not looking at to buy though, but I wanted to show you the Chrome version. And the Chrome PSA 10 at 116, and then you look at the comparison of the 9 at $35, okay? The A is at $23. Just if you did a grading on that, you took the A and you went to go grade it at $23 and you spent $30 to grade it, there's some money to be made if you got back at 10. But if you think about buying the 9 at somewhere between $25 and $35 right now, during the season, if this guy cracks a couple home runs in the first couple of weeks, that card should shoot up $10. I'm the frugal guy. I make $10 on a card in a couple of weeks. I'm super happy. I'll use that $10 with another $10 with another $10. I got $30 to go buy another card. That's how I roll. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that I did this week that worked and a couple of things that backfired. Now, why I think that this is a good deal at $116. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to put in Vladdy's card. And we're going to go look at see how much Vlad's card is selling. Now, Vlad never hit 50 home runs in a year. Now, I know he lost a lot of weight and people are chasing him right now. But let's go to his base Chrome card here. Here it is right here. It is selling right now for $189. Last sale, $166. There's so much hype on him right now, but we'll go and look at the sales, okay? And you can look at the red. The red on there is the PSA 10. Look at the hype, okay? Now, he didn't hit 50 home runs yet. Pete did. If Pete starts cranking home runs the first week, his cards are gonna shoot. If Vladdy does bad the first couple of weeks and Pete does good, you can see what's going to happen there. Vlad's going to fall, Pete's going to go up. I can't predict that that's going to happen, but I just wanted to show you my angles and how I try and find who's undervalued. Is he undervalued? Maybe he's at the right value right now and Vlad's overvalued right now, but I still think that there's a little bit of leeway there to make a little bit of money. I don't have $116 to invest right now on a PSA 10, nor would I buy one, but at $35, and if I went and put in a bid or an offer for $27 on a PSA 9 and I got it, I know I could sell it for $35 or $40 in a couple of weeks. I think he's going to hit a couple of home runs. He's got to. Think about it. He's got too much potential there in that lineup. There's going to be some more support around him too, so he's going to have some better pitches to hit. So, guys, that's just one angle, and I'm sorry I spent so much time on that, but I don't want to go over and show you some other things that happened this week. And remember, we're always trying to look for things under the radar, and I want to go over to what we did over here and what we actually sold this week, and I'll show you a couple of the mistakes that we made. I actually picked up a PSA 10 Kevin Porter for $60. And it's sold. Why did it sell for $60, guys? I was trying to list the card to sell. And if you ever use your phone for StarStock, be very careful. And it's a warning, and I'm going to warn you guys again. This happened to me about third or fourth time. One time I got red in the face. I went to go list the card, and I actually accepted the offer. Thank God I broke even on this one. There was one where I bought and sold and lost money instantly, and I put a tear in my eye because $25 is a lot to me. I could use that $25 to get another card. And my motivation is, and I want to show you the money that I have in my account, and we've dropped a lot of money in the account, and we've used a lot of money in the account, but we've bought cards that are coming home, and man, we've done a lot of stuff, and I see a lot of money potential in the next couple of months for us here. Now, my Hunter Renfroe refractor that I pulled from a pack of 2017 got a B, and I sold it for $4. The Jeff McNeils, remember when we were buying the Jeff McNeils? I bought at $6 and I sold at $12. There's only been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales, guys, and I almost doubled my money. That was a good one. This was a couple videos back where we were buying Jeff McNeil. I bought a bunch of Taylor Hortons. I don't know. Yes, I bought those off of eBay. I think I bought a lot of 4 for around $20 or something like that. LeBron got hurt, and you can see, so there's opportunity there. You don't always need to sell your cards. You can always hang on to your cards. We can go and look at this right now. This Taylor Hortons, I sold them for $7 a piece. And the Bs right now, yeah, I did okay. They're still selling for about that same price. So I got one left. I saved one. Kevin Porter there. I needed money. I bought one, and I sold one. And the motivation around that was to get $42 because I needed some extra money in my account because I wanted to buy some other things. I spent a lot of money. I bought a lot of stuff this weekend. I'm going to go over to what we bought here in a little bit. There's that other Jeff McNeil that we bought and sold. And I think this is also the same type of thing where sold at $6. And there's been actually quite a bit of movement on this card. You can see some movements over there when you see a lot of those dots plotting. So I think I did, like $3 on that? Now, hey, if I bought multiple cards, and I did, that's why I wanted to do that for you guys, where we went and we bought a couple multiple cards. I think where we ended last week, or I don't know, it was about a week ago, we sold that Gavin Lux. We made a few extra bucks on that Topps Chrome to make the one box that we bought a little bit cheaper, if you followed that last video from last week. So that was the week of sales. Not crazy. We didn't sell that much. There's about $50 there, huh? Right about $50. So why is the account? I'll go over to the account and share the account. We're down to $176, guys. And the collection is at 1772. We have 263 cards. We dropped some cards. I took the Bo Bichette's off. I'm going to show you why we took the Bo Bichette's off in here in a little bit. And this video could go long. And I keep saying that, but it's okay. I want to teach you guys some stuff. What I bought a lot of stuff this week. And I bought these Nick Madrigals. I bought a Lewis Roberts. I like this card. I don't know why I bought the 9, but of course, I'm frugal. I don't buy 10. So once in a while, if the price of the 10 is pretty good. So I got a 9, and I actually relisted it at 54, try and do a quick flip here and try and make a few bucks. I think I'm going to be able to sell that. I might keep it. I like that because it's got the water bottle on it. I really like that compared to the chrome version. I picked up this pink. I paid $87 for this, guys. I'm just a few bucks less than the last few sales. Now, why was my motivation on that? Look at the price of the PSA 10. So you can see what I'm going to try and do there. So I bought my card at $87. I think it's like a $30 fee right now. I don't know if we're going to raise the fee for us to send the cards in for grading. So I'm all in at about $107. And if I'm all in at $107, of course, it comes back a PSA 9. There's no PSA 9s in there, so I'd have the only one. I'd have to sell it and try and sell it for that same price. But I'm trying to get a 10, and you can see I'm going to try and make a couple $100 off of that. That was my motivation on that one. And I love the pink chrome cards. I got the Ronald Acuna Jr. pink. And, of course, I want to get a couple of the other guys that I collect, too, in pink. I like Lewis Roberts. Who knows? In 6 months, I might not like Lewis Roberts. So Guys, here's a brain fart that I had here. And I was doing some bidding, not bidding, but putting some offers in late at night. And I thought that this was the Topps box, but the Topps regular Chrome. I thought it was a mega box, not the update. And so I put an offer in at $39. And geez, it's the same box as we were buying for $27, guys. So that was a big brain fart there. Jeez. Sometimes you make a mistake. Here we go. Here we got the U-Chains that I bought. Don't know what's going to go on with him. He's thinking to be the utility player over there. So what was my motivation there? He's got a lot of talent. And just takes an injury for him to be in the starting lineup over there in Cleveland. So at 50 cents, I'm okay with spending a couple dollars there for him. And it didn't go up yet. Let's go click on that. So sometimes you buy a card and it doesn't go up. So I bought them at 50 cents. They're selling still at 50, 60 cents. So Jonathan Dazza, I bought him at 30 cents. I don't know why I picked up this card at 30 cents. I just said, let me get it. It's for 30 cents. That's how I roll. If he has a good game, plays good during the year, is a young player, somebody's going to be collecting him, right? And the Nick Solaks, I bought quite a few Nick Solaks, guys. And I really think that this is, let's go click on these. So here's the pink refractor I bought for $3. We actually sold a couple for a little bit higher. I really think that these are good deals. Here's another refractor I bought for $3. There's not a lot of sales on him. And who knows if he makes the team, he's going to be on the team. These are risks that I'm actually taking on getting a few players at real low price. But I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to pick up a couple players that are cheap and, hey, make a few bucks, hold a few players. I got a few extra cards in my account, stuff like that. There's that Kyle Lewis that I picked up for $45. And I think that was a really good pickup. I do have it listed at $70. That's actually still a great price to buy it at. Rookie of the Year, PSA 10. Actually, I might take that card down. Kind of like that card. Now, I'll put you guys on hold here, and we're going to wrap it up. I got some other things we're going to do, and make sure we go over everything here, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, ready. Here we go. Now, I was looking at this card, Jalen Hurts, the other day, and so we got regular card selling here, $39. Let's see if we can get that to come off. Of course, I didn't really narrow the search very well. But I'm looking at raw cards that are selling for about $33. And I picked one up right before they started to go up a little bit. I actually got a pretty good deal. Where is my purchase history? There we go. There we go. So I got that for $25. Tracking number is going to go to my warehouse in Miami where I get my stuff. So you guys can track that if you want. $25 shipped, and it's going to StarStock. I had to pay a little bit of tax. Okay, why did I do that? I'm going to show you why I did that. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to the marketplace. We're going to put in Jalen. We better put in Jalen Hurts. Otherwise, we'll get every Jalen in the book there, huh? There we go. There's the card we're looking for. So I got a $30 investment going over and trying to get a $70 I can make on that. Well, if I got it over there and I got an A and it got there and it got listed, and hey, right now there's a lot of hype on football. So I've actually been looking at some other football stuff. We're going to go take a look at some football right now for my football guys. That card's high on StarStock right now. So going to snipe some A's, not A's, but hope you get a good card off of eBay. And I think I got a good one. Let's go take a look at that card. Something with good centering, good up and down. Where to go? Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to click on the card so we can see that card. And there she is. I had it. So, it's maybe a tad off from right to left. But these are actually, when I was looking on eBay, there was so many hard to find, but the up and down looks pretty decent too. So, and I noticed that this is pretty common with those cards, and there's a lot of A's too. When you look at Prisms with that little, cut on the edge. So I think that's got a good chance of getting an A. And we'll, of course, when that lands, we're going to do a follow-up on that to see what we get on that, and see what we actually made off of that, if we do make money by the time it gets there. So you guys, there's another way to make money there too. I wanted to show you, and then we wanted to go over and show you the Bo Bichettes that I'm bringing home right now too. So let's go back over to my collection activity and what I bought. Oh, here, guys, offers. Always put in offers on things. You never know when somebody's going to click a button like I do and make a mistake, and you get something land in your account. That's how I got that Kyle Lewis. It's how I got quite a few other cards. If you watch some of my other videos, I got a Saquon Barkley earlier in the year for $50, a PSA 10. So a lot of times somebody's maybe using their phone too, and you might get an offer. So I always try and put low offers and see, and actually trying to buy back that Saquon Barkley. And let me go over here. That's always a good thing to do. So I'm going to give you a heads up on that. Let's go to actually, I think it's going to be easier this way to do it. Let's put in Bo. And not Bono, huh? I think Bo shows up with just Bo. There it is. And appreciate you guys, everybody coming along on the journey this week. And when I get these bees home, and they should be home if I get lucky, we may have them home for the next video. So I show you them when we get them for the next video. So here's the Topps Chrome right now. And that's the refractor. Pay attention. There it is. Where's his regular Chrome? Is it all the way down here? Well, I am blind, huh? There's this regular Topps Chrome over here. Jeez, sorry guys, early in the morning. All right, Topps Chrome PSA 10, $180. PSA 9, $90. StarStock A, $32. There's money to be made right there. You can see that if you buy an A. There's 219 cards in the vault. That gives yourself a good chance. If you buy that card for $32, say you put an offer, hey, just go buy it for $32. You got $60, $62 in when you grade it. You get that back. Even if it came back a 9, you're probably going to break even, or you're going to make $100. Now, what did I bring home bees for? And I actually could have left the bees on the site and made some money. They actually went up after I bought them. I'm bringing home a whole stack of bees here for us, guys, to see what they look like. And we're going to do an experiment. I'm either going to send them over to CompC and sell them, or we are going to, and you can see how long it took for them to actually. And there's 3 I bought at $8.29, $7.58, some more at $8.29. So I'm about, on an average, $8 in on 12 cards. So I think it was, what was it, $96? I did the math. So it was less than $100 I'm in on the 12 cards coming home. So what I want to do is, and I want to show you, we're going to go over here, and we're going to put Bo Bichette here. And if you put Bo Bichette, Topps, there it is. Here. Let's just spell it out. Number 150 card. And let's go check. And guys, this is the great strategy here. Once you get the card pulled up, don't even look at the prices of the cards right there. Just go to sold. Immediately go to sold and go check what the cards are selling for. So we got some single cards selling for 20, 21. Buy it now is at 29, 19. And I seen a lot the other day. So now my motivation is to add cards to my collection, and I'm bringing home actually a couple of these cards to actually keep in my collection. But that's the PSA 10 lot. But I seen a lot the other day. There was like 10 cards that sold for $300 or something like that. So I'm like, whoa, I'm into that. And guys, I don't know. I mean, these bees, when they come in, I don't want to, if they're bad, I'm going to list them. I'm going to write down, if there's defects on them or anything like that. But I've sent most of my cards that I sent in, and just to show you, we're going to go to my baseball cards. A lot of the cards that I pulled right out of packs and sent in, they got flag Bs, and I'm pulling them back. Some of the cards are actually that I sent in, I'm bringing back a Bo Bichette Prism Refractor that I pulled out of a pack and put in a sleeve. Not saying anything bad about StarStock A. They're checking the cards to make sure they're A's before they go and send them to grade. And I feel very comfortable with that. But I like when a card comes out of the pack and goes into a sleeve, they slabbed it at B. I'm bringing it back home. That card's going to sell on another site for a lot more money, and I don't need to be tricky and try and trick somebody into buying it. Card's going to look good. Trust me. Most of these cards here that you can see, Top Series 1, Top Series 1, there's some A's. I did do very well. I take very good condition of my cards. But you can see everything that was paper got a B. A lot of the chromes did get A's. And I want to just show you guys. There's no value on some of these cards right now. Dustin May B, 19 cents. AJ Puck Series 1, $1. 30 cents for, or 10 cents for a Toro card. Jordan Alvarez, I was actually looking at $9 for a Series 1. Let's see what this card's been doing. Of course, it should be going up, right? It has not even been moving. Look at the graph. Completely flat. And other of his cards have been moving. So there's some cards of his under the radar too that I've been looking. There's some on eBay and there's some actually here on the site. I don't know, he's been injured a couple of times, but there's cards out here, guys, that you can look for cheap. Now, there's actually the StarStock B that was on here was my card, and I didn't see anything wrong with the card when I sent it, and they gave it a B, so I'm bringing it back home to take a look and see what I missed on it. But there's cards under the radar here, guys. Now, his Topps Chrome at $24, I think that is kind of high right now, to be honest with you. Yeah, see, that card's been going up. And you can see because it's the orange. Now, if you look at the graph on the other one, it was flat going all the way across. So you can see how some cards catch fire before other cards catch fire. But there's some things out there where we can make some money. And I wanted to show you one other card, guys. There's a lot of things going on. And let's go over to my collection. The John Morant that I got here for $49. And I don't think I have the eBay searched thing pulled up. But this is a bargain right now that you can go and buy these for $49 if anybody believes in John Morant or collects John Morant. This is a pretty card to put in your collection. It's not a prism. It's not one of the flashy cards. But it's something that you can afford, and it's a nice card of his with the blue background and things like that. But I've been seeing him sell for about $55, $60 on eBay. And I had a $50 sale recently, and you can go buy right now for $49. Let's look and see where that card's been. I don't think it's a very valuable card, but for somebody who's collecting, basketball is not a good investment right now, but that's, I don't know, kind of cheap, I think. Don't buy it. I'm just showing you examples, guys. Devontae Parker. Let's see if we can find this guy over here. I thought I had him pulled up. I found, and I've been talking about Devontae Parker the other day, and I spelled that wrong. Here he is. This card. The Prism. Ooh, there was just something just happened here. Somebody raised the price on it. So it was $22. See it? Look at the sales on that card. 20, 21, 22, right around there. High was 40. Somebody just actually raised the price on it. You could have actually came in here just recently and you could have bought it. I think it was at 27 or something, maybe been 37, but there's offers at 36. Latest sale 22. But I want to show you something here. The Chrome. And I've been talking about the Chrome too. 27. The Chrome is a beautiful card, okay? It's starting to climb back up. Its high was 40. So when I went over there and I looked at that Prism, both cards are beautiful, by the way. But if you look at the value of that Prism, and if you can get in there, say you can get that card for $37, well, that's a pretty good price. And look at the opportunity if you're grading that card, and it comes back at 10. Just looking at the couple of sales, it's actually not been a sale on a 10. Look at that, guys. We see a PSA 9 sold for $145 at one point during the season. Let's go find that sale. Where did that sell at? I missed it. Half asleep. You guys see it? There it is. Wow. 3 of them. 146, 89, and 91. So you got to think that that's how I do it. I'm always looking for angles. One more thing I wanted to show you with to end on. A couple of the last cards that I bought. This Nick Madrigal. I've been looking for these first Bowman Crones of these young guys, and I noticed that they do actually start to go up a little bit in price. So I picked up 2 of them, and you can see some of the fluctuations here on this card as it's been moving, and I think I got in around a decent price. Of course, over here we had a couple really low sales. We don't know about those. But right around $8-9 has been about the average over the last couple of months. High was at 14, so we've actually had some sales at 14 already. I don't know. I like this guy. He's on a good team. White Sox got some great players. They got the new coach. This guy comes out. He's hot. Plays good. Team does well. Starts to go in the playoffs. This card should start to go up. I thought it was actually start to go up a little bit more than it did. Similar to the Jeff McNeil. But let's see what happens here. And we'll follow this card here for a couple of weeks. Guys, I think we got a huge long video here. And I think it's 42 minutes long. I appreciate you staying for this long if you made it this long. Wanted to show you tons of stuff that was going on. Thanks for stopping by. Costa Rica Card Collector out. We got some great things we're going to go over next week. And take care, guys. Stay safe. And we'll see you on the next one.